Hey, shalom everyone. Grand rising and all praises to the Most High, the God of Israel. This isn't going to be too long of a video. As you can see, I'm in a different environment. I'm actually in one of our trailers cleaning it out. But I was just thinking about this. Yesterday, actually day before yesterday, I was watching a live stream from Kareemio. Shout out to that brother. He made a video about Juneteenth, right? And how that is a hijack. I agree with him 100%. If you still believe that the transatlantic slave trade is real, if you believe that so-called American Negroes, and our descendants, right, that our ancestors came over here on slave ships, you guys are part of the hijack, and the psy-op is still working on you guys. How are you guys going to believe the same oppressors, right, who lied to you about everything else, right? You disbelieve them when it comes to all these other things, like when they tell you, hey, that smoke that you see in the air is fire, burning from Canada. Y'all say, nah, that's not fire, that's chemicals, and blah, 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 right? These guys tell you that you have no history. You're like, nah, we have history. We're the Israelites, or some of y'all be like, we the Moors, or some of y'all be like, we the Egyptians, right? Naturally, you know that we can't trust them, right? Because these are the same people who gave us syphilis and all these other crazy diseases under the guise of helping us, right? Medically, right? These are the same people who took part of the Tuskegee experiment, who pumped our people full of experimental drugs and diseases. These are the same people who practice eugenics on our people. Y'all know all that history. You know about them burning down our cities and our towns and all this stuff, using deception and lies and all that to destroy us as a people. Y'all know y'all can't trust them. Yet you trust these people to tell you that, hey, you came from Africa, you came off of a slave ship from Africa, just because we have similarities to the people over in Africa. See, to me, that is absolutely, I'm not going to say stupidity, but to me that's foolish. Because you don't trust them, you know not to trust them, yet you trust them with your history. You trust them with your ancestry, your story, when you can talk to your elders about your ancestry. You can do genealogy, you can do your own genealogy to find out your history. To me, it makes no sense. These people lie to us about everything. You expect them to tell them the truth about who you are and that you're indigenous to this lands? You expect them to tell you that you're indigenous to these lands when they hate you and they've been trying to kill you since the day they got here? You expect them to tell you that you're from this land? See, what people fail to realize is that before the 1800s, so-called black people, we were everywhere. Bunch of different languages, bunch of different cultures, different kingdoms, civilizations all over the world. From Europe to China to the Americas. You see what I'm saying? We were everywhere. And if you believe in the so-called transatlantic slave trade, you more than likely believe in the out of Africa theory, which means ultimately you're saying that so-called black people are the lowest form of humans. Because the whole out of Africa theory came from Charles Darwin, right? And his whole theory of evolution and, the whole survival of the fittest thing, right? Which, when you look up the full saying of survival of the fittest, it's like survival of the fittest, assigning superiority to the white race and all other races are inferior. See, when you believe in that whole out of Africa theory, you're believing that so-called black people are inferior. That's literally what you're saying. The whole so-called black people come from Africa, that whole theory is outdated and is tired as hell. We need to stop falling for the hijack, guys. Why do you think that I believe it was Biden, President Biden. Why do you think that he made Juneteenth a federal holiday? Think about it. Since when did if he really cared about black people, you think he would just give us a fucking holiday that means absolutely nothing? That does absolutely nothing for us? No, the reason why they gave you that holiday is because it's a complete psy-op. It's a complete hijack, and you guys are falling for it. So yeah, Juneteenth is a hijack. Stop celebrating that shit. I'm not gonna celebrate it because I've done my genealogy. I know my ancestry. And when you do your genealogy, you do your ancestry, you find out that you have no African ancestors. Unless you had African ancestors that came over after the 1800s. In the 1900s, because that's when Africans started to come over here and miss me with that whole thing of, oh, we have similar cultures, the Gullah Geechee has similar cultures. See, if you know your history, you really study history, you will find out that the so-called indigenous people of the Americas were taken over into Africa in the thousands. This is why when you look at a lot of West African food, they eat the very same food that American Indians eat. Their staple foods over there are American foods. I can't even name how many dishes West Africans have that have corn in it. You see what I'm saying? Corn, beans, all this stuff that comes from right here in America. So so-called black man, black woman, you're not from Africa. You're from right here from America. And that's essentially all I have to say. Peace out, shalom, and may the Most High bless all who do his will. Peace.